In this video, we'll examine how certain functions of the urinary system are regulated, as well as the role the kidneys play in regulating blood pressure, maintaining fluids, electrolytes, and pH levels. Let's start by defining glomerular filtration rate, GFR. GFR is a crucial measurement used by doctors to assess how well the kidneys are working. It specifically measures the volume of fluid filtered from the glomeruli into Bowman's capsule each minute. The total volume of blood plasma is 3 liters. The average male produces 180 liters of filtrate each day. That means the kidneys have filtered the entire plasma volume 60 times over in a single day. It is important to note that this is not a fixed volume, as the kidneys must make adjustments as needed. As you see here, only 1 to 2 liters of urine are excreted, as 99% of filtrate must be reabsorbed for normal bodily function. When GFR increases, there is more urine output. If too much fluid is lost, this can lead to dehydration and loss of electrolytes. The kidneys cannot create more sodium ions or water molecules, so they serve the function of minimizing their excretion until ingestion replaces the loss. A decrease in GFR can cause waste products to remain in the body. Chronically low, so for more than 3 months, GFR can be an indicator of kidney disease. There are a number of ways to regulate GFR. The 3 mechanisms involved are due to autoregulation, controlled by the sympathetic nervous system, and hormonal control. First, let's look at the kidney's ability to autoregulate. This mainly involves the regulation of the vasomotor tone of the afferent arteriole through either tubuloglomerular or myogenic responses. The tubuloglomerular feedback is still not a well-understood communication process, so only the myogenic mechanism will be discussed. Blood enters the kidneys at the hilum through the renal artery, where branching will occur and end up forming the afferent arteriole. Increased blood pressure in the vessel results in stretching the afferent arteriole that leads to smooth muscle depolarization and therefore contraction of the muscle inside the blood arteriole. In this case, constriction of the afferent arteriole will help maintain a steady pressure in the glomerular capillary despite the general increase in blood pressure. The myogenic response is capable of maintaining a steady GFR over a wide range of mean arterial pressure. You may recall from Bio 201 that most body structures receive dual innervation, input from both the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. However, blood vessels maintain vasomotor tone due to input exclusively provided by the sympathetic nervous system. An increase in renal sympathetic nerve input will result in a decrease in GFR by stimulating the constriction of both the afferent and efferent arterioles of the nephron. These final slides regarding GFR regulation are the most involved, as we'll look at how different hormones impact the kidney. The hormones are not a new topic, as all of these have been discussed in previous units. Let's start with the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, RAS. This mechanism responds during acute and chronic alterations in arterial pressure. The pathway should be familiar in that the liver produces angiotensinogen, which in the presence of renin is converted to angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 then is converted to angiotensin 2 in the lungs by ACE. Angiotensin 2 has the ability to act on blood vessels, causing them to constrict, which helps increase blood pressure back to normal levels. Additionally, angiotensin 2 stimulates the release of another hormone called aldosterone, which helps to retain salt and water in the body, further aiding in raising blood pressure. This is an illustration of the pathway just discussed. Let's look at the hormones and which parts of the nephron are involved. Renin is produced by specialized cells in the DCT when a drop in blood pressure or decrease in blood flow is detected in the kidneys. As already mentioned, renin acts on a protein called angiotensinogen, converting it to angiotensin 1. This process triggers a series of reactions that ultimately lead to the constriction of blood vessels, an increase in blood volume, and the retention of sodium to help restore normal blood pressure levels. As a reminder, the retention of sodium levels is aided by the release of aldosterone by the adrenal cortex, which acts on the DCT to stimulate the reabsorption of sodium ions and the excretion of potassium ions. This process helps to maintain the body's electrolyte balance and blood pressure. Other hormones to note that act on the kidney tubule and collecting ducts are ADH, AMP, and PTH. ADH acts on the collecting ducts. It's the body's last-ditch effort to retain fluid in the body before it is excreted. When the body is dehydrated, ADH levels increase, signaling the kidneys to absorb more water and produce concentrated urine to conserve fluids. Conversely, when the body has excess water, ADH levels decrease, allowing the kidneys to produce more dilute urine to remove the excess fluid. It is important to note that most of the body's natural mechanisms function to increase rather than decrease blood pressure. AMP is the outlier in that it is secreted in response to detection in elevated blood pressure by cells in the upper chambers of the heart, the atria. AMP plays a crucial role in regulating fluid balance, blood pressure, and electrolyte levels in the body by acting on the kidneys to increase excretion of sodium and water. You may recall that PTH is essential for increasing blood calcium levels. It accomplishes this in a number of ways. In Bio 2.1, the focus was on how the hormone increased blood calcium levels through mechanisms involving the skeletal system. In addition, it was mentioned the kidneys play a role by increasing calcium reabsorption. This happens at the DCT. The next two slides are useful in creating a table that will make a useful study tool. The table should include the heading, Factors that affect urine output, the list of hormones and their substances found here, and which part of the nephron is impacted and how.